You know, it couldn't be more important, right? Because we lost 4 years of opportunity here to, address the greatest challenge that we face. And we're not going to get that lost time back. That means we have to do even more now. And the United States can't just re-enter the Paris Agreement. It's great that we're doing that, and that sends a very important signal to the rest of the world that we're back. But we have to go well beyond those Paris commitments. We've got to ratchet up those commitments now if we are to stay on course to averting a catastrophic 3-degree Fahrenheit warming. There's still time to do that, but we need to increase our commitments, and the other countries of the world need to do that. And that's what this summit in April is about. Joe Biden bringing the rest of the world's policymakers to Washington, D.C., to up those commitments, to make sure that we collectively address the great challenge that we face here.
Professor Mann, is what we're seeing in Texas a sort of wake-up call? What can we do to mitigate these disasters in the future?
Yeah, there's still a debate, on the details when it comes to the science behind the connection between these cold air outbreaks and climate change. But there is a body of evidence now that suggests that global warming almost counterintuitively can sort of cause the polar vortex, as we call it, to weaken. And as it weakens, these blobs of cold air can more easily escape from the Arctic, so that it was actually warmer up in Alaska than it was down in Texas. There's some evidence that climate change might be leading to an increase in the incidence of these sorts of events. But there's no question that if we look collectively at all of the extreme weather events we've seen in recent years, unprecedented heat waves and droughts and wildfires and superstorms, we can see the fingerprint of human influence on our climate in these devastating events.
You have a new book out on climate change. Bill Gates does it as well. And in it, he says we're out of time, really, and must make changes in really all phases of life right now. Do you agree with that? Is it that pressing? And what are those changes specifically?
Yeah, I do. And, and I welcome Bill Gates and the platform that he has and the fact that he's using that to try to raise awareness about the defining challenge of our time. I think that's great. Now, when it comes to the specific prescription that he describes in his book versus that in my book, there are some differences. I think he underestimates the potential for us to scale up existing renewable energy technology to meet this challenge. And because he underestimates the impact that renewable energy can have, he sort of argues for some riskier options like geoengineering, interfering with the global climate system in some other way, shooting particles into the stratosphere to block some of the sunlight. These are things that could have some unintended consequences. And so I think he advocates some unnecessarily risky options because he understates our ability to meet this challenge by scaling up renewable energy.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.